everybody. Hope you're having a great, what is it, Thursday or Friday? It's Thursday. Time is flying by, right? It just seems like time is flying by. Every week goes by so quickly, right? When we were kids, time would go by so slowly. But now when we're adults, it just seems like time is like flying by. But even then, it just seems like time is literally going by so quickly. I think that has something to do with the end times. I don't know. I wanted to remind you guys about using your talents. You were created in God's image. God has given each one of you that is listening talents. Even if you don't think you have talents, you do have talents. Maybe you just haven't discovered them yet, you know? It's very important. Why are we here? Why are we still living here on this earth? Why haven't we died? Because God has appointed us, He knows, He's given us an appointed day when and where we were going to be born, and He has appointed a day when and where we're going to be taken out of this world. When we fall asleep, as Paul would say, right? Because when we die, our next conscious thought when we wake up is we're going to be in heaven, right? Hopefully. I mean, if you're a born again believer, that's where you're going to be, right? And remember, the enemy, I was talking with a friend of mine, the enemy is always, he uses every single angle he can to make you doubt your salvation. So he'll put doubts on your head sometimes. Am I truly saved? You know? What's wrong? What are you doing? Okay, sorry. My cat is very... What happened? What happened, kitty? You agree? Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have a soul. Unfortunately, you're not going to heaven. So we gotta treat you really good while you're still here on Earth. Come up here. Come. Come up. Come, kitty. Come. No? I'm sorry, I got distracted. So what I was trying to tell you, it God takes it very seriously. If you have talents, if you're born again of the Spirit and you're saved, right? You believe in the good news of salvation, right? You believe in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. You believe that His blood has cleansed you from all unrighteousness. My cat is like really messing me up. So this parable that we're going to read is a parable that you rarely hear in churches anymore. I don't know why, but it's very important. Our sole purpose while we're occupying the time, right? Because we're eagerly awaiting the appearing of our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ, right? Either He comes for us first or we go to Him. Either way, it's a win-win situation. But while we're here on this earth, He's given you and I talents, and He wants us to use our talents. And He's so serious about this that He wrote this parable. Again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and entrusted his money to them while he was gone. He gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing it in proportion to their abilities. He then left on his trip. The servant who received the 5 bags of silver began to invest the money and earned 5 more. The servant with 2 bags of silver also went to work and earned 2 more. But the servant who received the 1 bag of silver dug a hole in the ground and hid the master's money. After a long time, their master returned from his trip and called them to give an account of how they had used his money. The servant to whom he had entrusted the 5 bags of silver came forward with 5 more and said, Master, you gave me 5 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 5 more. The master was full of praise. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." The servant who had received the 2 bags of silver came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 2 more." The master said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." Then the servant with 1 bag of silver came and said, "Master, I knew you were a harsh man, harvesting crops you didn't plant and gathering crops you didn't cultivate. I was afraid I would lose your money, so I hid it in the earth. Look, here's your money back." But the master replied, "You wicked and lazy servant. If you knew I harvested crops I didn't plant and gathered crops I didn't cultivate, why didn't you deposit my money in the bank? At least I could have gotten some interest on it." Then he ordered, "Take the money from this servant and give it to the one with the 10 bags of silver. To those who use well what they are given, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from those who do nothing, even what little they have will be taken away. Now throw this useless servant into outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." That's very convicting, isn't it? And this is why it's not preached in churches many times. But now you know. God, He's breathed life into your lungs. He's given you talents. Go out there, fulfill the Great Commission, spread the good news of salvation. Use your talents, whether you're a spiritual prayer warrior or you're good at handing out gospel tracts, or whatever you do, just glorify our Father in heaven. Hallowed be His name. God bless you all.